What's up, everybody? Liv here. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for coming along on this journey with me. I truly appreciate you guys. I try to read all the comments and reply back, but I do appreciate you guys. All right, so listen. Today we're going to get into our topic, and this topic is 10 things to do after buying your first handgun. Now, listen. This is not in any particular order. I just kind of made notes on things that I thought was important. You can add to it in the comment section. We can debate all we want, but here are the 10 things that I think are important once you buy your first handgun. All right. So number one, get some training. All right. There are plenty of people who buy handguns and kind of like just throw them in a drawer or take it to the range that first day and they never shoot it again. So I would suggest that you buy your handgun, you immediately sign up for a class, some type of one-on-one handgun training, and see what you can get out of it. Take those tools to the range and practice with it. But you definitely have to take a class and get some training. All right. Number two, buy a safe. I know in some states, safes are required for firearm owners. I don't think that's universal, but I know in many states that is the requirement. But even if it's not the requirement, if you have children or if you have people visiting all the time or you just have a lot of people in and out, I think it's imperative that you have some type of protection and you're not just throwing your firearm in some type of drawer or on the table or what have you. I mean, if you live by yourself, then I guess, but still, your house could be broken into. It's an easy target and people can just grab it and go. But nonetheless, I think you need a good safe. All right. Number three, get familiar with your state laws. Depending on where you live, laws are different. Okay. So you need to familiarize yourself with the laws in your state to know what you can and cannot do when it comes to concealed carrying versus open carrying versus, how to handle an intruder in your home when you're traveling between different states. So there are a lot of laws that you probably need to familiarize yourself with. And I know in different states, there are classes you can actually take that are customized to the state that you live in to bring you up to speed on all of the laws. So you want to make sure that you're doing that and taking the classes as needed. Number four, get your concealed carry permit if you don't already have one. I know in some states you can actually purchase a firearm without having a concealed carry permit. I would suggest that you get it anyways, considering laws change all the time, or you might be traveling from state to state, or you might decide to actually carry the firearm as opposed to having it as home protection. So again, that's familiarizing yourself with the laws, but if you don't have a permit and you aren't required to, then I suggest that you do so anyway in case you do want to carry later on down the road. What else? Practice with your firearm. Listen, I know this is number 5 on the list, but it probably should be a little higher up. Again, this is not in any particular order, but you need to practice with your firearm. You need to understand how it works. You need to understand your holdover. You need to understand your point of aim, point of impact. You need to understand how it feels in your hand, how it feels to fire multiple times, how recoil feels. You need to be able to understand your sights, or if you end up later on putting an optic on it, you need to understand how all of that works. You need to understand the trigger. Okay, what's the take up? Where's the wall? What goes on with the reset? How far out is the reset on follow-up shots? You have to know your firearm in and out, especially if you want to be using it for self-protection. I mean, some people buy firearms just to go to the range, but typically, if you're buying a firearm, recently I would say, most people buy it for protection. And so you need to know that firearm like the back of your hand. And so training, practice, education. I cannot emphasize that anymore. You need to practice with your firearm. Number 6, concealed carry insurance. Again, if you plan on using this firearm for self-protection, you need to have some concealed carry insurance. Now, I'm with CCW Safe, and I've been with them for, a couple of years now, and I really like them, but there are different options out there that you can choose from. I did my research and I chose them. Now, if you want to go with them, you very well may. You can actually get 10% off by using my code 32icon10, so 32icon10 for 10% off your annual membership. You can go to the website. I'll put the link in the description. You can check them out. But despite who you go with, you definitely need to have some type of protection, especially nowadays where everyone is like willing to sue if you look at them the wrong way. So let alone have to defend yourself. So yes, concealed carry insurance. Number 7, you need to find local groups so that you can continue your education. You need to find local groups that are educated so that when you ask a question, you're not getting an opinion, but you're getting an answer based on facts and information and previous experiences. So find those local groups in your area. Sometimes it could be on Facebook. They could be at your range that you attend, but just putting yourself out there to continue the education, which along comes with training. Number 8, join a Pro2A organization. It could be Firearms Policy Coalition. It could be the NRA. It could be Gun Owners of America. I mean, there are several of those organizations out there. I suggest you find one that fits your needs. Join them because obviously they help fight to make sure that we're able to bear arms, and they do all other sorts of things. I know there are some people who feel certain ways about different organizations and what they've been doing and what they've done in the past. Do your research on that, all right? Number 9, personally, I think you should attend at least one gun show. And let me tell you why. So with gun shows, depending on which state you're going to, you get to see an array of firearms. Some that you will probably never ever in your life own. Some you probably can't own in your particular state because some states have different restrictions on firearms and different type of ownership of those firearms and things of that nature. So you're going to see firearms that are unique, some that you can't afford, some that you can't own in your state, some that are antique, some that have history behind it, military firearms, collector's editions, new and upcoming firearms. I mean, you're just going to see so many things that are going to either blow your mind or, educate you, or you might already be educated and say, oh, I knew about that one. But again, I think everyone should attend at least one gun show, and a good one too. Not a little, rinky-dinky one, but a really good firearms show where you can see an array of different firearms, I should say, right? And the last thing, which is number 10, is certainly not the least important, but I would say invest in superb Ear Pro and Eye Pro. So let me tell you what I mean by that. There are some Ear Pros that, you could go to Walmart, or I know at one point you could pick up at Dick's. I don't even know if they sell that anymore, but you might feel like, oh, I'll just go pick up some cheap Ear Pro and put some over-the-head muffs on. Listen, you need some quality Ear Pros, okay? You can get online, you could do your research. I mean, there's Walkers, there's Howard Lights, there's Axel, there's a bunch of them out there. Find something that works for you. Find some good eyes to put on so when you're shooting and those shells come back and pop you in the eye, that your glasses aren't cracking and that you have a good, solid foundation when you are shooting. Your ears are extremely important, and obviously once you have some hearing loss, you obviously can't get that back. So invest early and make sure that you are protecting your ears and eyes. But outside of that, listen, these are the 10 things to do after buying your first handgun. And I'm going to just go over them real quick. Get some training, buy a safe, get familiar with your state laws, get your concealed carry permit, practice with your firearm, concealed carry insurance. Use my link below so you can get your 10% off your annual fee. Find local groups, join a Pro2A organization, attend at least one gun show, and good eyes and ears for your protection. All right, outside of that, maybe I missed something, I'm not sure, but you guys add on below, and I appreciate your time, and continue being kind to one another, and I'll see you in the